Call the work session of the Site Plan Review Technical Advisory Committee meeting of November 14th, 2023 to order. Thanks, Peter, for chairing last week's meeting while I was out. And if it hasn't been formally welcomed, I'd like to welcome Vincent Colombo Hayes to the committee. He's taking place of Nicholas the Dormer Cracknell's position. That is, so Vincent will be with us from here on out. And we only have one item of business today, work session with 569 Submarine Way.
Oh, sorry, different plan set.
And John, you're up.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Technical Advisory Committee. John Shagnon from Ambit Engineering. Haley Ward here today representing the Albacore Park. With me is Joseph Affianco. Sorry, sir, I butchered that one. He's the operations manager, and Patricia Violet, the executive director. So Phil Monk couldn't be here to assist, unfortunately, due to sudden illness, or he is trying to watch. He will be watching it on Channel 22 if we're broadcast. So the Albacore Park is now located at 569 Submarine Way. That little road to get from the bypass to Market Street was created by the Departments of Transportation when the Long Bridge was redone. So they have an exit off of that new road. This is the boundary plan. So we did a full boundary survey. There are some easements that cross the property. They're all shown on this plan. Starting from the top, the city has a water line easement. There's a water that crosses a lot off of Leslie Drive, comes across the Albacore Park property, out to Submarine Way, and then that was extended over to Northwest Street under the bypass. There's a drain pipe easement running little northeast through the middle of the property that exits drainage from further up, and then there's a public service Eversource now overhead wire easement on the southwest corner. There's also a sewer easement. Part of the city sewer system came across the property, and that was put in an easement the last time we were here, which was for the storage building, which was the latest addition to the site, probably 4 years ago. The next sheet is an existing conditions orthophoto plan. So this really shows you the existing site with detail that doesn't pop out on a standard black and white vector drawing. So you can see the tree covers, the adjacent properties, the lanes, and really what's going on. Hopefully that answers questions about the existing site if they come up. We do have the standard next existing conditions black and white plan, and then we get to the site plan, which shows what is being proposed. The museum would like to add to the existing museum building. That's an addition that's shown in blue on this drawing, and there are some associated sidewalk revisions that are shown in green, and that's pretty much the extent of the project that we're proposing. The building addition roughly doubles the size of the museum building, and later on in the set there's some floor plans. The next sheet is the utility plan. So where the building addition is going, there's an existing drain line, and that's detailed what to do with that on the next plan. There's a water line that comes across and goes through the area where the addition will be built. So we're showing the proposed water service line relocation around the west side of the building. and all the other utility connections would be internal. The next plan is the drainage plan, and that shows the elimination of that catch basin and the creation of a new drain manhole outside of that area. That probably will be repurposed to a catch basin. And we have to do some more investigating, but it may be that the line that goes to that catch basin from DMH1 has been abandoned, and it may not be necessary to place that new line going to DMH2. Then we have the usual detail sheet and the floor plans from the architect showing it's an addition of exhibit space and ADA bathrooms with a new sort of lobby vestibule entrance to the Welcome Center. The other spaces that exist now in the museum will maintain their functionality, and there's a elevation view. So, glad to answer any questions and hope to get your feedback today on this project. Thank you.
Going to be rerouting that drainage force main out of the submarine bay, too? It's not Xed out on the plan. like-
Yes, that will be connected to that drain manhole.
Too.
Yes.
Yep.
Also, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So that outlet of that drain manhole into the North Mill Pond, or the, whatever, Intercuts Cove, that's just beside the head wall? Is that there now? That's not changing?
Yes, that's been there, I think, since the submarine was put in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that just
We're not-
uses the existing line?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an existing line.
Frost wall?
Good question. It's, no, it's going to have a crawl space.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we got to bring some utilities through, so I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's got a crawl space.
So you do four frost walls, then a slab down below, and then wooden floor framing or composite, and then utilities down there of any sort, like heating, air exchange, or any sort of or just wiring and plumbing, do you think?
So there's got to be water brought out and sewer brought back, because there's some proposed restrooms in the addition.
Yep.
Electricity,
What heats the place?
yeah, what heats the place. Do you have any insights there? Unfortunately, the architect isn't here.
There had been some discussion as to keep the current situation under our current footprint, keep the heating unit there and connecting from that. But there's also been discussion as to heating into another zone into that building.
What do you heat the current building with? There's like a
Propane.
A propane, like a boiler or a furnace,
Yes,
maybe?
sir.
You got air that blows in, a duct system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, right, then down the road, when a building
Yep.
permit comes along, we'll take a look at you might have to have fire-resistant construction on the underside of the floor joists if you're doing the crawl space, maybe.
Okay. That's because it's a crawl space?
Right,
or-
and then, so this is within the shoreline protection area, so you get DES?
No, so the shoreline protection line, I should be on in one of these drawings.
Close, must be close.
Here's
The 100-foot,
It's right here.
that's the 100-foot tile buffer line, and then the shoreline line is another 150 feet, but it's not at the building, it's probably more like right
Oh, okay.
there. It's outside the 250.
All right. And we're not in a flood zone.
No, nope, the
18.
Intercuts Cove is mean sealable datum abruptly comes up to the site, and the site's around elevation 18.
18.
Yeah, and the flood zone elevation is
Should be 8.
no, it's up off the river. It says AE, but I'll get the elevation on there. It's 8 or lower,
I think it's all 8 in Portsmouth. All the title.
all the ponds, tidal ponds. So it's not in the flood zone.
Sure.
John, the water easement, apparently there's no assignment to the city on that water easement. Could we figure out a way to assign the city to that water easement that goes through the property?
Yes. I know that came up, and I don't know if that's a main that goes,
Yeah, it goes from
Is it Leslie?
Leslie Drive all the way through.
Yeah.
But apparently the city's not a signee on it for some reason, so.
yeah, at one time, it was, well, it says City of Portsmouth Water Easement at 599023. It's not in your database, though.
It's not in our, yeah. If it's been assigned, I don't think it's been assigned to the city. That's the issue, was brought up to my attention, so.
Sure, I have a deed reference and a plan reference.
Okay. Well, I'll look that up.
And I know at one point, the pump station was fed through that, or the pump station was fed from the museum building, and then at one point,
I think when it came to the museum building, that's when we first got the easement, but I don't think, for some reason, it didn't go to the city. Or we first asked for the easement, I guess. So either can you check on it, if it's there, then
Yep.
let us know, otherwise.
yep.
Was there any landscaping proposed with this project?
No changes to landscaping. The ortho photo kind of shows you what's there for trees around the sub and other landscaping around the commemorative areas, submarine monuments and memorials, and then it's lawn in front, so it's replacing lawn with building.
Okay.
Is there any new stormwater treatment proposed other than the oil separator that's already at the head wall? No?
No, other than if that, which probably would be a catch basin, not a drain manhole, we'd probably put a snout in it, deep sump basin with a snout.
Do you know which manholes you're gonna put the inlet baskets in, the filter baskets?
Probably just the one that's constructed, if the catch basin that's constructed, because nothing is really down slope, but we got the note on the plan just to be sure.
Flood hazard.
The bypass drainage has been redone, so some of those basins we have to double check too. I think the second basin on the left, the one that's up north of that, yeah, oh,
This, down here?
yeah, to the left a little bit. Keep going, yeah, right there. I don't know that that basin is still there, because I believe they redid the drainage and the bypass and moved things around, so. This drawing kind of goes back 20 years in our database, so we have to do one more site check.
Would you be open to installing some bicycle racks? Maybe in space of a parking?
That would be a good idea.
Yeah. Glad you agree.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yep.
that they would agree to that,
Great.
absolutely.
See, a couple questions about the ramps and stairways around the new building. Looks like, are there stairs coming off that corner but into the grassy area? Looking at,
Here?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's, yep.
no walkway to those steps there?
I can talk to the architect about that, but I don't know, I think it gets people to an area of refuge. There's a ramp going south that connects to the sidewalk
Yep.
where the ADA access.
I'm just saying, if people park along those spaces right there, they're just gonna walk to the steps and not walk.
Well, I think
But
that's
you-
an emergency exit,
Oh,
so
okay.
I think that's to discourage people, because the
Oh.
main entrance is around the other corner.
Around the back.
Yeah.
And so the walkway in front, there's no ramp in the front, right? That's just the walkway for the ADA spaces?
When we get to fine grading, we'll put that in, but there's no curb there, so it's probably going to be an at-grade sidewalk.
Uh-huh. And the width of that connecting piece between the parking spaces and the rear there, do you have a dimension on that, or?
That space that's between the two, three parking spaces on the
Yeah.
other side of the road, Peter.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about the width of this piece.
Oh, that piece, that's 5 feet.
Uh-huh.
We can label that if it's not labeled already.
This doesn't impact parking requirements or anything?
They have so much parking in the back that
Yeah.
they're good.
As far as,
I think we did do a park and demand, and I guess I should have submitted that. Sorry, Eric. We gave it, it was part of the submission to the ZBA. This project got a special exception from the ZBA, and I apologize for that. If you could pass that around, let's take a look. 37 vehicles was the park and demand, so it's rather light. And we striped, what's striped now is 20, 32, 3. I think it's 54. The demand analysis might have come out with going from 37 to 57, or 53, and there's 54 striped spaces. And then there's plenty of room in the back parking lot to add spaces. We don't anticipate a change in the trip generation because it's not really going to add significantly to what their draw is. It's going to give them the room to actually put a lot of the exhibits that they have in storage into the facility.
I'm just wondering about the unmarked parking area. Do you have to accommodate handicap parking for that area as well? I'm not sure about that requirement. Other than that, I don't have any issues.
Yeah, we could show that striped connector and put, you're saying put a handicap spot or two over there just to satisfy.
You can't do that.
Huh?
They have to be the closest spaces.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, but we have the spaces closest to the building.
Right. But I
So-
think what Eric's saying is there may not be enough if you include the area that is not striped.
I got you.
Yeah.
If we were to line that out, we'd need 8 handicap spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the requirements on that, if it's,
Yeah. Where it's not striped.
uh,
I think they do have occasionally a school group comes, and so it's a good place for the buses.
The ghost ship has been moved. No longer.
But in the last week?
2 or 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Well,
He vanished.
it's a ghost. It's a true ghost. Halloween, it must have
Yeah.
left.
How did you not see that coming?
Just before, it was the weekend before, yep.
Jeez.
It was 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday.
This is usually where Vincent says one more thing.
One more thing, John.
Take it over for.
How about photometric plan? Any lights on that building?
Yeah, good question. I think,
I didn't have
are there lights on the building?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then in addition, we have 2 light poles, a light that lights up each of the front and the rear parking.
Are these new lights or
These
existing ones?
are, we're
Exist-
transitioning
existing.
to LED,
Okay.
so as soon as the extension is done, we're hoping to address that.
If they're new lights, it should be dark sky.
Okay, yep. Yeah, we'll work with the architect on lighting up from the building, probably those walkways.
Any other comments?
The driveway intersection with Submarine Way could be helpful just to put a stop bar, double yellow, just to keep traffic on the right side of the road.
Okay?
Doesn't have to be much, 50 feet of center line.
On the site driveway, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Everyone all set?
Okay, thank
Are
you.
you all set? All right.
Yep, I think so.
Sounds good.
It's fairly easy.
Yeah. Anyone have any?
Site plan,
Yeah, we did talk about, there was an existing site plan, so this could be an amended site plan application.
Okay.
We even talked about if it could be done administratively, but we wanted to get feedback from the group.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
we can discuss further with the boss.
Yeah, probably makes sense to go to the planning board, but it'd be an administrative approval. I mean,
Or amended site-
amended site plan approval, because you have a site plan there already, so you wouldn't have to be a whole new site plan, I guess.
Okay.
Essentially it is, but
So just on the box, on the online application thing, it's an amended site. plan.
amended site plan,
But
yeah.
you're going to go to planning board.
I think so. I mean, there's enough there, I think,
Yeah.
the new building.
Okay, yep. Yeah, the deadline is Monday, so we want to try to get
Yeah.
to the TAC in December. Okay, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
Thanks.
Any other business? Vincent, any words of wisdom?
One more thing.
Nothing. He had his one more.
All right,
I did it. Just one.
we're adjourned.